It was sad when we bid the characters of Westeros goodbye, but at least the cast didn't disappear off the face of the earth. Maisie Williams has been dealing with fallout speculations between her and Sophie Turner. John Bradley's next gigs are alongside Jennifer Lopez and Halle Berry, and Emilia Clarke has been battling romance rumors with a Game of Thrones co-star. Let's go! Sophie Turner as Sansa Stark. The 25-year-old actress lined up a decent amount of projects since the series ended. Some of them included X-Men, Dark Phoenix, and Survive. More recently, Sophie completed filming Broken Soldier, and she's joining a true crime drama, The Staircase. Hats off to her, considering she and her husband, singer Joe Jonas, became first-time parents last year. The family was recently spotted out on a shopping trip, and also on a hike in bad days. If I felt really fat that day, or I had huge zits, to be able to go and cry with Maisie, it was the best thing for us. I'm glad I wasn't crying on my own. But now, some fans have claimed that the pals have drifted apart. Let's see what Sophie's friend has to say about it. Maisie Williams as Arya Stark. After GOT ended, the 24-year-old actress was relieved, not due to any drama behind the scenes, but because there are other avenues which interest her. There's so many other things that I want to do, and there's so many things that were never really fulfilled by being a part of Game of Thrones. That said, Maisie is happy with how Arya's arc was wrapped, and forever grateful for the role of a lifetime.
It was just a beautiful end to a decade of my life.
Williams is realistic about her career, and realizes that trying to outdo Game of Thrones would be setting herself up for failure. A box office smash viewed by millions of people around the world, that's never gonna top that, so that's just not a fulfilling thing to go after. On that note, you can catch Williams in The New Mutants and 2 Weeks to Live, among others. Next, you'll see her in Pistol, a biopic about the English punk legends, the Sex Pistols. Maisie said she felt liberated to strip topless for her role. She'll also be lending her voice to Arya Stark for a video game, Multiversus. In terms of romance, Maisie is dating high-fashion entrepreneur Ruben Selby. Both share a love for design and A-list parties, which is obvious anytime they set foot in public. As for her friendship with Turner, fans first became concerned after Maisie wasn't in Sophie's wedding photos, especially considering she was supposed to be the maid of honor. Then it was reported that Maisie hadn't met Turner's daughter yet. Williams responded to the rumors, saying Sophie was her favorite person on the set of Thrones and like a sister to her. Although she didn't reference their current relationship, we have a feeling their friendship is intact. Maybe they just wanted to stay safe during the pandemic. The following actor managed to break the mold cast by Game of Thrones. John Bradley as Samwell Tarly. The fan favorite faced a problem after bidding Westeros farewell. Nobody seemed to want to take a chance on me, and my confidence began to suffer, Bradley admitted. He kept being offered the same stuff, Samwell 2.0. Luckily, he resisted those offers, and after a wait of 2 years, he's making his grand return. You can catch him in the rom-com, Marry Me, alongside Jennifer Lopez. Also make sure to see his amazing performance in Moonfall, alongside Halle Berry. According to John, his stunts in Moonfall were tougher than those on Thrones. He had to work on a set filled with freezing cold water and swallowed gallons of it as he was pretending to drown. Bradley is set to star in a Netflix series, The Three-Body Problem, by Thrones creators D.B. Weiss and David Benioff. On a different note, John was sad at not being included in HBO's upcoming GOT prequel, House of the Dragon. Thankfully, he wasn't excluded on purpose, since none of the original cast will be involved in it. We have some consolation, though. Let's pause for a minute to gush about all the special cast reunions. Recently, Isaac Hempstead Wright, Kristen Nairn, and Nathalie Emmanuel had a mini reunion. They celebrated the opening of Warner Bros. Game of Thrones immersive studio tour, meant to evoke the show's epic scale. Nairn took to Instagram to express his excitement. I had an amazing time yesterday. It was so lovely to see some familiar faces again. Of course, there have been a few other get-togethers as well, like when Conan O'Brien hosted a reunion special featuring Sophie Turner, Emilia Clarke, and Jason Momoa. However, the sweetest meetup came last year, when Jason and Emilia met up for drinks amid strict travel restrictions. As Clarke's Instagram caption read, "When your son and stars roll into town, you check that he can still bench press a Khaleesi." Jason commented, "Love you forever, moon of my life." Nathalie Emmanuel as Missandei. Like John Bradley, Nathalie faced some problems after leaving Westeros. Her nude scenes on GOT affected the offers she got afterwards. It created the perception that she'd be open to do anything, when that really wasn't the case. Thankfully, she stood her ground and only chose jobs she was comfortable with. Nathalie reprised her role as Megan Ramsey in Fast and Furious 9, and you can catch her in Army of Thieves. Most interestingly, she had an unexpected reunion with Lena Headey, aka her on-screen nemesis Cersei, and Natalie Dormer, who played Marjorie Tyrell. The Three Thrones alum all signed on to join the voice cast of the Netflix series, The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. You'll be glad to know that there are no hard feelings between Nathalie and Lena in real life. In fact, they're good friends. A few days after that incident on the wall at King's Landing, Headey honored Emmanuel on Instagram. "Beautiful Nathalie Emmanuel, you represented hope and true strength. I didn't like that day up there." This leads us to Lena Headey as Cersei Lannister. From playing a hit woman in Gunpowder Milkshake to a matriarch of a family of wrestlers in Fighting With My Family, it's safe to say that Headey did not lose steam after GOT. Next, she will play the lead and executive producer on a psychological thriller series, Beacon 2310. But most of all, she dearly misses the cast, because they had grown to be like a family. As for Lena's real-life family, she's reported to be dating Ozark's Mark Menchaca. The romance comes after her split from her second husband, Dan Caden, with whom she has a daughter. And now, from one Lannister to the other, Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister. Dinklage has no plans of slowing down. He's everywhere. You can catch him in Avengers: Infinity War and too many other roles to mention today. Interestingly enough, he was recently signed up for The Dwarf, a medieval period piece. Dinklage will play a nefarious right-hand man to a prince. Now who does that remind you of? The actor isn't all work and no play though. He's been married to theater director Erica Schmidt since 2005. And although Peter is very private, we know that they have 2 kids together. The following actor's Game of Thrones character lost a hand, and now we've heard he got a concussion on the set of his latest film. Nikolaj Coster-Waldau as Jaime Lannister. Nikolaj's career has been on an upward trajectory, and he also launched his own production company. Among all his roles, 2 projects stand out. Firstly, the actor is trading in his sword for a chef's knife in a new film, A Taste of Hunger. Secondly, you can catch Nikolaj in the upcoming film Against the Ice, alongside Peaky Blinders actor Joe Cole. Coster-Waldau plays a member of a real and very dangerous Danish expedition, and it seems like shooting this film was pretty extreme. While filming a scene that involved a bear fight, the actor got a concussion. It turns out the bear was played by Iceland's heavyweight judo champion, and things got a little out of hand. Well, we're relieved to hear Nikolaj made a speedy recovery, as he has a loving family at home. Coster-Waldau has been married for more than 20 years. His wife, Nukeka, is a Greenlandic singer, actress, and a former Miss Greenland, and she revealed that they met acting on a radio play many years ago. Nikolaj was playing this Danish pilot who went to Greenland and fell in love with a Greenlandic girl, and that was me. He proposed 4 months later, and here we are. The couple have 2 daughters, who are both pursuing work as actors. Now, before we get to Jon Snow, let's talk about the real-life fashion icon, Gwendoline Christie as Brienne of Tarth. Christie is set to play Lucifer in Netflix's adaptation of Neil Gaiman's beloved comic, The Sandman. In addition, Gwendoline was cast as a regular in a new Netflix series about the Addams family, titled Wednesday. And you know what? There's more. Christie is teaming up with sex education star Asa Butterfield for a bizarre new film. The movie is titled Flux Gourmet, and it sure looks interesting. Concerning her private life, it's been a decade and Gwendoline is still with fashion designer Giles Deacon, who designed Pippa Middleton's wedding gown. It seems like a match made in heaven because Christie herself is a massive fashionista. Without further ado, Kit Harington as Jon Snow. Although GOT made him famous, and he'll always be grateful for that, Kit was ready to leave the show behind after 8 seasons. As he explained to GQ Australia, everyone felt like the last season seemed to be designed to break them. He didn't know if they were crying because they were sad it was coming to an end, or because they were so sleep-deprived. I remember everyone walking around towards the end going, "I've had enough now. I love this, it's been the best thing in my life, I'll miss it one day, but I'm done." Kit admitted to struggling with stress, exhaustion, and depression, but managed to overcome it. 4 years ago, he married his co-star Rose Leslie, who played Ygritte, and last year they welcomed their first child into the world, a baby boy. As for his career, it's looking good. Harington is joining the 2nd season of Amazon's Modern Love, and in Eternals, the actor is going full superhero as Black Knight. But his latest role in the Shakespearean play Henry V had him joking that he's been a bad husband. During a chat with Zoe Ball, he admitted that he couldn't spoil his wife Rose for her birthday. He couldn't even see her because he was busy filming. We're sure she understands. But let's be honest, we're all wondering what the mother of dragons has been up to. Emilia Clarke and Jason Momoa. We'll always remember them as Daenerys Targaryen and Khal Drogo. But before we see what each star has been doing since the show ended, it's time to talk about the latest speculations. After Momoa and his wife Lisa Bonet split up, some fans started looking back at the actor's Instagram posts. Jason and Emilia have always made a point of meeting up whenever they could. They speak highly of each other, and he was there for her throughout her health battles. Most recently, and by that we mean in 2018, Clarke was romantically linked to film director Charlie McDowell. However, the evidence is based on a few dubious Instagram posts, like this one. A year later, Charlie stopped following Emilia on Instagram, and it seems like she's single at the moment, or at the very least, extremely private. The logic now goes that there might be a romance blossoming between her and Momoa. In all honesty, we think it's highly likely that the two are just close friends, but only time will tell. Since Thrones ended, Momoa has been acting in several films and TV shows. He most notably starred as the titular Aquaman in the DC Comics films. As for Emilia, Star Wars fans know that she had a star turn in the Solo film. Although she wasn't afraid of being typecast after Thrones, she still wanted more from her career, like delving into writing and producing. Well, she succeeded. Clarke wrote a comic book series, Mother of Madness. In addition, Marvel confirmed that she will appear in Secret Invasion alongside Samuel L. Jackson. We don't know exactly when it'll premiere on Disney+, but it will probably be in 2023. It's almost time to say goodbye, but before we go, Isaac Hempstead Wright as Bran Stark, the king of Westeros himself. Since the series ended, 22-year-old Isaac appeared in the sci-fi series, Voyagers. He also made this funny video with Christian Nairn. Last year, London unveiled a sculpture trail in Leicester Square, and now the Iron Throne has joined its ranks. For the grand unveiling, Hempstead Wright himself showed up to take his rightful place on the throne. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay awesome.